Alright guys and gals, what we got going on today is a continuation, I guess, of getting our pantries ready for winter. And today we're going to be talking about smoking meats. I love to have some smoked meats put back in the freezer for winter to add to a soup or to a pot of baked beans or into a stew or a spaghetti sauce or whichever, or to just eat as a piece of smoked meat. So the first thing we want to do when before we smoke our meats is we want to brine our meats. Now, a brine, for any of you that don't know, it's a simple combination of 3 ingredients. You need sugar, salt, and a liquid, and that's it. It can be very, very simple. Personally, I use a very simple brine. Now today we're using brown sugar, which I recommend. And the salt that we're using is a kosher salt. You do not want to use like a table salt that has iodine in it. You do not want to use an iodized salt. So very, very simple. Let's get right to it. I'll show you exactly how I make it. Show you how simple it is to make and how simple it is to do. So let's just get started. So we're going to need, my brown sugar's a little bit lumpy, that's why there's a piece of bread in there. We're going to need a cup of brown sugar. It's going to be the same measurement for the salt. We're going to need a cup of that. So let's just get our salt open here. And we'll get a cup of this nice kosher salt into here. So I hope everyone's doing well and safe. We're Thursday here now, so got a lovely day, but the weather has turned cool. We're getting highs now in the low 70s and lows overnight in the low 50s. So it's starting to cool off pretty good up here. The turn toward fall weather is upon us, and it's I looked at the long range and it's supposed to stay like that. Okay, so we got ourselves a cup of brown sugar and a cup of salt. Right into the bowl. Now you can do this on a stove in a pot if you want to, and bring it to a boil if you want to do it that way. But I'm just going to do it this way in a bowl. Wow, brown sugar is really lumpy. That's okay. We're going to use some hot water, and that's all going to dissolve anyways. So that's as complicated as your brine mixture needs to be. Now, like I said, we are going to use some hot water. I've got the kettle boiled over there, but we are going to add just a couple of other ingredients just to show you, some other ways to do it. I'm going to add, let's say, about 4 nice bay leaves. And let me see, I've got some peppercorns here. So I'm going to add 8 or a dozen peppercorns in there. And we're going to throw in a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes. Just a little wee bit. Not much. Just to jazz this up a little bit. And like I said, you can leave it as simple as just the sugar and the salt and the liquid if you want. But I mean, you can add anything like garlic powder or onion powder. You could use soy sauce or sriracha sauce. You could use some liquid smoke if you wanted to, although I'm not sure why you would. We're going to smoke our meats anyways. But yeah, you could throw in some Worcestershire sauce or rooster sauce. Any spice that you would like. You can create any flavor profile that you would like to. Now, so I've got all my ingredients in here. That's all I'm going to use. Like I said, we've got a hot kettle over here. Let me just make sure it's good and hot. It boiled just before I put the video on, so yeah, we're good to go there. Okay. So hopefully this doesn't steam up the camera too badly. So yeah, we're just gonna pour our hot liquid in here. Like I said, you can do this in a pot on the stove if you want to. Boil it for 5 minutes to, sort of activate the flavors in the dry spices, the peppercorns, the bay leaves, and the pepper flakes, if you want to. But it's not necessary. So get some hot liquid in there. And then we're just going to give this a whisk to dissolve it. You just whisk it until your sugar and your salt solids have dissolved. Now the amount of liquid you're going to want to use for the measurements of sugar and salt that I gave you. The measurements of sugar and salt that I gave you is for 1 gallon or 4 liters of liquid. So whatever it is that you're going to brine, if you need another gallon of brine, you can go ahead and make it. Or a half gallon, whichever. If you don't have enough brine to brine your meats, you can simply go ahead and make more. It's pretty nicely dissolved in there. There we are. And then what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to let this cool down to room temperature. You want to let that chill completely. Okay. Now, what I'm going to be brining and smoking. Now, one of the reasons why I use such a simple brine is because I use it for both pork, turkey, chicken, or anything I'm going to smoke. So one of the things I'm going to be smoking is turkey wings. One of these is fantastic to throw into a soup, just to like a chicken soup or even a vegetable soup or whichever, to add a nice smoky flavor to your soup. Spaghetti sauce, like I said, anything. You could throw one into a pot roast if you wanted a smoky flavor to it. So one of those chicken wings is perfect. Now, one of the other things I'm going to be smoking is, I'm not sure if you can see this very easily or not, but got some turkey thighs here. Now this was a package of 2 turkey thighs, and it was under $5.50, so you're looking at $2.60 a portion. Now one of these turkey thighs is an absolutely amazing dinner and meat portion for one person. So for $2.60 for a meat portion, a nice meat portion is actually a pretty good deal with that. Or again, you can make a nice soup or a turkey stew out of that. Nice smoked turkey stew. You could put it in a lentil soup or like a navy bean soup. It'd be delicious in that. And I've got some pork hocks. They're thawing in the refrigerator that I'm going to be brining and smoking as well. Again, use the same brine for either the pork or the turkey, which is why I keep it fairly simple. And once I have this cooled completely, I'm going to go ahead and I'll either use heavy-duty Ziploc bags to drop my meats into, and I'll pour the brine over the top, and I'll leave it soak in the fridge for 24 hours, maybe even a little bit more, maybe a day and a half, 2 days, and that's going to be just fine, and it's going to impart a nice flavor into the meat. The salts will, and all the other herbs, and the sugar is going to help your the outside of your product caramelize and brown up very, very nicely for that nice, dark, rich, smoked color. But yeah, you want it completely cool before you put the brine over your meats. And when you are brining your meats, you do not want to do it in a metal vessel. You want to use glass or plastic, some food safe container, if you're not going to use Ziploc baggies. Because if you use metal, if you do your brining in metal, the salts will react with the metal and give your meats kind of a funny flavor, so you don't want to do that. But that's pretty much how easy it is to make up a simple brine. It's simply salt, sugar, and water, or you can make it as detailed or as complicated as you like. So the next time you see anything to do with these meats, it'll probably be a couple of days, and I will have them out on the smoker, and I'll be showing you guys how I do that. Okay. So I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. This is going to be North, out for now.